back to the channel, and I have here today a guitar that is very special to me. It is not a current model, it is not a new model. I got this off of Reverb, but it is something I have wanted for 17 years, and I'm very eager to take a look at it, to finally call one my own. Okay. So it came with a gig bag. They didn't put it in the gig bag, but there's a gig bag, which it was supposed to. But, okay, it looks like it's pretty well packed, though. So, let's take a look. And, of course, I don't expect this to be in, like, new condition. But, can already... Some of you might be able to tell what that is already. The scissors here. They got the tape. They did a good job packing it. Don't know why they didn't put it in the gig bag, but I'm impressed so far. So that's a little bit scuffed. No, this is dirty. So what this is a Squier Avril Lavigne signature Telecaster, which, yep, look at the serial number here, from 2007. Very distinctive for its design. It has this very nice, that's actually very, I'm sure it's made out of, but very heavy material there. The 2007 Squier model. I remember when these came out, I was in college still, and even though I think they were probably like $400 or so at the time, that was more. I couldn't, I had a few guitars by then, but I couldn't just run out and spend $400 on a new guitar. That, versatility was a big thing back then for me for a single pickup. But just first a little bit of the background. Obviously, most of you probably know who Avril Lavigne is. I have always loved Avril Lavigne. Back in May of 2002, I would have been in high school, getting ready to graduate, and I was watching MTV in the morning before school, and a new video by a new artist came on called Complicated, and she has sort of a unique name, and I tried to remember it and write it down, because even though the internet was definitely around back then, it was not like it was now, and that was long before streaming, and sometimes if there was a new artist and you only saw the video one time, you never heard of them again. So if you missed it, you just missed out entirely. But I loved her style, her attitude, her voice. Obviously, I found her to be extremely attractive, and I just loved her. And here we are. She's still one of the biggest stars in the world. I'm still a big fan of hers. She and I are about exactly the same age, so I almost feel like I've sort of, obviously not grown up together, but sort of a kinship with her from afar, as so many people at the time said she'd be a one-hit wonder or whatever, and I've always appreciated her and her music for what it is, because at the time a lot of people thought that, well, she's not a true punk rocker. Well, she never claimed to be. She was a pop singer with a little bit of an edge, and she had this great signature Squier. So about the guitar itself, this came from an era of Squiers, which I think people kind of underrate today because the current ones are so good. But this was still back in the days that on a Squier, you got a full-fledged rosewood fretboard. And this neck, I call it a medium C. It feels fantastic. Polyurethane satin finish, of course, a maple neck that I have to give the seller credit. I mean, I think they listed as either good or very good, so I didn't expect it to be pristine. I see nothing, a few little scratches, which show having a black Telecaster that's 32 years old that I've had for over 20 years myself. I'm not at all surprised to find some. They show scratches in bright light pretty badly, but this looks really good. I mean, obviously it's not in tune, but So I believe, and I have to look to see the exact which one is which, with a single humbucker, one position is the full humbucker, 2 is one of the coils by itself, and 3 is the other of the coils by itself. I think this is just the volume, and then there's the input. So I'm going to get this thing plugged up, get you all some sounds, and see what it can do, and be thankful that. And I should add before I go on, because I failed to mention this, even though these were, I think, were about in the $400 neighborhood when they were new, I can't say they're necessarily super collectible, but you were hard-pressed to find one on Reverb for under 500. They're usually not any, which surprises me because I thought these were fairly popular at the time. But you might find one. Recently, there have been none until this one popped up. Maybe 2, and usually one of them's overseas. So they usually go for between $500 and $600. I paid $360 for this one. That was with I think $45 shipping, and that was just. I really do not need to make a, I don't want to say frivolous, but purchase that's not necessary at the moment because I've had a lot of stuff come in. It's getting close to Christmas as I record this, but I could not pass that up at that price. So enough of me talking. Let's get this plugged in and see what it can do. Okay, plugged into the Vox AC10. I figured out that the middle or second position is the full humbucker. Third position is the neck side coil split. And the first position is the bridge side coil split. So the bass and treble are on 5, gain and volume are on 3. Let's get some clean sounds. Sounds rich and full. Let's go to the neck side coil by itself. Sounds good as just a nice single coil sound. Now the bridge side coil by itself. Let's go back to the full humbucker. I'm typically not the biggest fan of humbucker clean sounds, but I think this is really nice. Good. Let's go to the bridge coil. And the neck side coil. Nice clean sound. So now, obviously, this guitar was made for some gain. So let's kick on a distortion pedal. I have kicked on the Laura DeCilio JHS Violet signature overdrive / distortion pedal on a pretty high gain setting. So in full humbucker mode, let's see what it can do. let's go to just the neck coil split. And now, let's go to the bridge. Definitely can do the Tele thing. Now, let's take a closer look at this great guitar. Okay, let's take a closer look at the 2007 Squier Avril Lavigne Telecaster. So we have a basswood body, used in a lot of shredder guitars and guitars from Japan, Indonesia, Korea, that part of the world. Lightweight, often used with a solid finish like this. Of course, we have this great pick guard I mentioned earlier. Again, you can see it's a single ply. I'm not even sure what material this is, but it feels really nice. We have a hardtail Strat style bridge. As you can see, it is string through and shows fingerprints well, and there are many imperfections in the finish that show pretty good when you shine it up, but that's a guitar that's old enough to drive and almost old enough to vote, so that's to be expected. And again, as I said earlier, that is a real rosewood fingerboard. I have not done anything to it since I received the guitar. We have 22 frets. The distinctive Avril Lavigne logo. And you can see we have, get it in focus here, side dots, but no markers on the fretboard. Just the Avril logo. There's the nut. Looks like it is cut pretty well. Of course, could have been doctored by someone over the years. There's the headstock, 2 string trees, the Avril signature there. Still says Telecaster, Squier, logo, bi-fender. Turn it over on the back. See, they are just regular tuners, but they serve the purpose. Crafted in Indonesia. Skunk stripe, and pretty standard Telecaster stuff. So let's get a few more sounds and see what this does through a solid state amp. Going through the orange Orianthi Crush RT limited edition solid state practice amp, starting off on the humbucker position. Going to the neck. And the bridge coil. And back to the humbucker. Final thoughts. Well, I think this guitar was worth the wait. Couldn't afford it 17 years ago. Thankfully, I'm able to now. And it's just a really great guitar. I was actually pleasantly surprised by how nice it is. I think the humbucker sounds great in all three modes, both the full humbucker and the two split sounds. I was actually thinking I was going to change it, but I don't think I will. It just really sounds nice. And I have not taken this one apart, but I have seen pictures of them, just the humbucker itself, and it looks like it's made out of pretty quality components. So if you're an Avril fan, this is a no-brainer to get if you get the opportunity. Hopefully someday they will reissue it or make another version. I know there's an all-black one too that I think came out later, I believe. But I mean, this isn't, of course, like a Eric Clapton signature guitar or something like that, but it's a really fun guitar and something that I'm really happy after all these years I'm now able to play and enjoy. So I hope you've enjoyed this video. If you have any questions, please leave them below. And until next time, keep on rocking.